So the next step in SketchUp with this little project is to draw out the frame of the feet. And if we look at the booklet, we can see that the foot is 1100 by 200, which means it's exactly the same width here as the cabinet on top, which gives us a nice opportunity to use what we've already drawn in order to help us draw the next part. So take a guideline here, snap it onto that edge, take another guideline here, snap it onto that edge, and draw a guideline down here by how much again? Let's have a look. 200. 200. Enter. Alright, so that rectangle there that I've just drawn that I've just guidelined out using those three guidelines is basically the height, and I can use a rectangle that I draw in here from that point to that point in order to construct the shape of the foot. So let's have a look back at the booklet, and we can see that we need for the top of the leg, this angle here, we need to go in by 100 at the top. So let's get a guideline, type 100. That's 100 as well. And then take my pencil tool, draw my line from there to there. Pencil tool from there to there. Alright, that's the first one drawn. Now, what else have we got? Now we can see here that the height is 90, and we can see that it goes up to here to a point where that's 170 in from the left and also from the right. You can also see that the foot is 40 wide. So let's first draw that line 40 in. 40, and then the same thing this end. That'll give us the starting point of our next line. You can see that that one's already 40, and then the next line we need to draw is 170 in from the end. So type 170, and again here 170, and then from the top we drag a guideline down by 90, which should then give us the next line from that point, which is 40 in, and that goes to the intersection of the horizontal line 90 from the top and the vertical line 170 in from the side. And I can go along and then make sure I'm in the correct place, and then draw down, zooming in to make sure that I can snap on the right place to there. Now that gives me the basic shape without necessarily all the details. That gives me the basic shape of my leg. So I can then use the not the push-pull tool, but the select tool to select that line and that surface. You can see that I'm dragging from right to left. I've got the dotted line around the shape that I'm dragging, which means that it selects anything it touches. And there's my basic shape. Now, having thought about it, since these details here are defined by a distance from the end, I could bring those two pieces that I just deleted back. However, since I have the end of the box to refer to, I'm going to just leave it as it is for now. Alright, so next step is to put in these little slots here. They're 200 to the beginning of the slot, and it's 18 wide, and you can see here that it's 35 deep. So let's do 200 to start with. 200 in from the end, guideline, 200, and again 18, and then one down, 35. I'm going to do the same at this end, 200, from that one 18, and you'll already have that 35 guideline down there. So now I can take my pencil tool and making sure that I get on that intersection so I'm accurate. Same thing here, intersection to intersection to intersection to intersection, and just take my selection tool then the line there. You might have trouble seeing the selection that I'm making here, but you can see that I've taken away the line, which also then removes the surface. Now all I need to do is make that 18 thick and make it into a component. Now, you may have noticed when I just selected the whole thing that a couple of extra lines lit up, so what I'm going to do is check it now by moving it down. And I'm going to move it down by using the guideline just a little way down. And now you can see, now that I've pushed it down, that there's a couple of extra lines that I don't need, so I'm just going to select them and delete them. Lines there are fine. Lines here are fine. Good. So then we can just hit to the side just to get it back out of editing mode, and then move it back up to where it was, snapping onto that line. Now the final thing I'm going to do here is just move this leg back to the point where it was, where it should be relative to the cabinet at the top. And if we check the first page here of the booklet, oh no, actually it's the last page of the booklet, you can see that there is a difference here between this distance of 370 and this of 450, the difference being 80, so we can assume that it's 40 either side. So I'm going to go back to SketchUp and I'm going to move this piece in here by 40 in the green direction. 40 that way. There we go, perfect. And while I'm about it, I may as well now take my move tool, and this time I do want to make a copy by picking it up by that corner, dragging it along the green axis, locking it into the green axis until it snaps onto that line there. And now I'm going to move it back by 40. Now that gives me then the position of the two legs of the cabinet.